Welcome back to Peril Pending. And wouldn't you know, it looks like Farage was lying again. Yes, it seems that Nigel Farage and Reform UK may have been lying when they said that the 5 million was received before Farage even ever planned to rejoin politics.
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
Today we are looking at an article from LBC by Hannah Drayton titled Farage Struck Secret Reform Comeback Deal Months Before Election. Let's get into it. The agreement was negotiated with then-leader Richard Tice in March and April of 2024 and was overseen by George Cottrell. A neat reminder, he is a convicted fraudster who had been given money to Farage. Who would have guessed it? It turns out, so the original defence was, I didn't need to because... God, it's so long ago. What was the original defence? I didn't need to because I wasn't planning on going into politics, but that wasn't even really holding up because it was still within the 12 months from which you did become an MP. So you still should have declared it, but that's really all you had. Oh, I wasn't planning on it. I wasn't actually planning on it. So if you really think about it, it has nothing to do with that. I'm going to disregard the rule that says I have to anyways. And now it turns out there may have been a plan all along for Farage to come back. I don't know what Farage thought would happen here by calling a by-election. Like, sure, of course, the Parliamentary Standards Committee, they will and have paused the investigation. But why would journalists stop as well? All that's happened here is they've just sort of done the Parliamentary Standards Committee's work for them. Because now, if he gets re-elected to be MP of Clacton, and the investigations restart, well, now all the committee has to do is confirm this information, and then bing, bang, boom, well, yeah, you lied, so now we're going to have another by-election, and it doesn't matter how hard you scream about the will of the people, Clacton don't get to decide if their MP or not follows the same standards as everybody else. For a party that thinks they're going to be the next ones in government, they really have a pretty loose grasp of the rules, don't they? The article continues, under the terms of the pact, once Farage resumed the leadership, Reform would repay or write off more than 1 million in outstanding loans the party had received from Tice's company. The deal was first presented to the party's treasurer in mid-May 2024, the Sunday Times reports, appearing to contradict Farage's claim that he only decided to return to frontline politics in June. Who would have guessed it? Honestly, seriously. One of these again?
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
People that believe Farage, you know he's taking you for a mug, don't you? A party source told the Sunday Times that the agreement was drafted to cover the possibility of Farage's return, not a certainty, and that he initially planned to focus on campaigning for Donald Trump in the US election. Like that means anything. That doesn't mean anything. Oh yeah, we did it just in case he came back. Right, so you still planned it though, which means that if he came back, even though it wasn't a certainty, you should know that he'd need to then disclose that 5 million. Or was that not part of this draft? Mitash Azami, I definitely got that wrong, Reform's treasurer at the time, said he was told about the agreement before the election was called and was reportedly instructed to implement a schedule of repayments once Farage came back. The Sunday Times reports that on June 10th, 2024, the date of the first repayment under the deal, Reform sent $200,000 to a personal account belonging to Tice, rather than his company, Tyson Investments, which had originally lent the money. Considering how many investigations into the finances of Reform there is right now, and Farage and Tice and Cottrell, You'd think they'd be a bit more transparent with all this, don't you? Like, I mean, guys, none of this looks any good. Electoral Commission filings reportedly state that the company was paid, not Tice personally, which could amount to a potential criminal offence if the information provided was incorrect. I'm sure it's actually all fine. You see, what the law doesn't understand is that this is Reform doing this. This is Farage doing this. The rules don't apply to them, apparently, because they're anti-establishment, and the rules only apply to people in the establishment? Is that what Reform's next tactic's going to be? Party sources reportedly said the officials later realised the error, and proposed telling the watchdog. But the Electoral Commission was never informed, and accounts were filed suggesting the company had been repaid. Oh, okay. So it's actually absolutely fine because they realised they did something wrong, and they thought about correcting it, but then just never did. But they thought about it, and then they just never did, and then they carried on like they had, I guess. Is this the defence? Oh, we saw the problem. Your Honour, we definitely thought about fixing it. Then Reform Treasurer Azami said he relied on his staff to process the payments and only learned later that the money had gone to Tice's personal account. He claimed he tried to notify the commission but was stopped. Okay, so first of all, he's deflecting. So it's not his fault, even though it sounds like he was doesn't sound like it is. He's literally the treasurer. So the book stops with you. No, it's my staff's fault now. Typical Reform. And then secondly, he claimed he tried to notify the commission but was stopped. Well, by who? I have a feeling we'll be finding that out rather quickly. Otherwise, it looks like Azami might be the one that's going to take the hit here. A Reform spokesman dismissed the latest claims as misinformation based on unlawfully obtained documents or mischief making by disgruntled former staff, and said all relevant payments were declared to the Electoral Commission. I mean, guys, you have tried this one before. Remember when you said the misinformation one's new, based on unlawfully obtained documents. Yeah, last time you tried that, it was claimed that the Russians had hacked Farage, but he offered no evidence to prove that. Are they going to go with that again? Did the Russians just happen to hack them again? Or was this part of that original hack? A mischief making by disgruntled former staff. That's what they always say when something comes out that makes Reform look like a pretty dodgy company. I think it was the last episode of Reform Candidate Catch-Up where we were talking about a young Tory who moved over to Reform and then exposed them as being this big racist organisation that when it vets people, the vetting was essentially, do you agree with Tommy Robinson, yes or no? And they said that he was a disgruntled former staff who had been warned beforehand and now he's just spreading misinformation. Honestly. The same old plays. It didn't work last time, but it seems this is all they've got for a flailing, dying party. Of course, it looks like LBC contacted Reform for comment, but is anyone really surprised, seriously, that they were lying all along? I really can't wait to find out what's going to happen now. Will this have a knock-on effect in Clacton? Will this have a knock-on effect with Farage's attempt to actually remain as an MP? I have no idea, but I'm very interested to see what's going to come out in the week to come. Anyways, those are just my thoughts. Leave yours in the comments section down below, and I'll catch you next time while the peril's still pending.